So the fall patch has really changed a lot of weapon stats. Some have had major stat changes while others got a few tweaks here and there. In this video I'm going to cover some of the weapons that have had the biggest changes. For example, the A91 carbine, which you probably hated using, but after the fall patch you might want to think twice. So to start things off, the A91 carbine, like I said, has seen major stat changes. Before I talk about how it feels in game, let's go over the stats. Its side to side recoil was 0.5 degrees on each side, it's now 0.35, so a fairly high reduction. Its upwards recoil went from 0.34 to 0.31. Its on the move accuracy has been increased and its muzzle velocity has been bumped up to 470 from 420. So before all of the tweaks, the A91 wasn't a very good choice. Yes, it does have 800 rate of fire and it's a bullpup weapon, so it has good hip fire accuracy, but its side to side recoil was just way too much, especially when you have weapons like the ACWR, which in my opinion is a much better choice. But that was before the patch. Now the A91 is actually really good to use. I was surprised how easy it is to control. Only downside is it's not good for long range due to its low muzzle velocity, but for team deathmatch and rush, if you want a bullpup carbine with a good rate of fire, then I recommend to try it out. You may even prefer it over the ACWR and maybe the MTAR as well. As you can see, most of the footage is on Team Deathmatch. Like I said before, the A91 really suits this game mode well. You don't have to worry too much about long range fights. Also, with visual recoil removed, pretty much every gun is now a lot easier to control. So overall, if you hated the A91 like I did, I suggest to give it another shot. You may actually prefer it over the other carbines. The next weapon that had some big stat changes, the J&G 90 sniper rifle, had a huge muzzle velocity increase. It went from 560 to 670, and out of all the sniper rifles, it now has the fastest muzzle velocity. Also, its maximum range was increased, so it now has the same range as the M98B. As you can see from the footage, I had a lot of fun with the J&G. The bullets travel quick, which is a really good feature to have. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to unlock the scopes and attachments I wanted, but I still did fairly good with the 20 times ballistic scope. Next up is the P90. This is my favourite change out of all the weapons. The P90 was already pretty good at hipfire kills, but now it's a complete beast. Firstly, its spread increase per shot has been reduced by a decent amount. Its standing still spread is slightly reduced, but its on the move spread has been reduced by a lot. It's gone from 0.7 to 0.52, which means it's a lot more accurate while moving. And to top it off, its side to side recoil has been reduced by a good amount as well. It's gone from 0.5 on each side to 0.35, and this makes the P90 one of only very few automatic weapons in the game to have a completely balanced recoil, which means its vertical and horizontal recoil values are exactly the same at 0.35 degrees. I think the only other automatic weapons in the game to have this feature is the AR-160 assault rifle and the Alstat LMG. Also, for the people that don't know, the laser sight has been buffed to increase hipfire accuracy by 33%, so attaching a laser sight to a weapon that already has extremely good hipfire accuracy and good on the move accuracy like the P90, you can clearly see this setup is going to dominate in close range combat. You don't even need to aim down sight. Most of the time you can just get away with hip firing. You'll be really surprised at how many kills you can get at ranges where you normally would have to aim down sight. However, the P90 is a PDW, so that means any distance over 40 meters or so, things are going to get a little tough. The damage starts dropping off and will take a lot more bullets to kill your target, especially with its high first shot multiplier. If you're on a map or game type where you're finding yourself needing to kill at long range, I would change to a different gun. But overall, I highly recommend to try the P90 again if you previously have told yourself never to use this weapon. Jump into Team Deathmatch or maybe some rush servers and try it out with a laser sight. You'll be really surprised with its performance. Next up is the L8-582 assault rifle. Much like the other weapons I've spoken about, the L8 has seen vertical and horizontal recoil reductions, and its spread increase per shot has also been decreased. This weapon has always been fairly easy to control, but now it's just so ridiculously easy to counter its recoil. Even with the heavy barrel, I'll still find in most of the time I could mag dump at medium range and still have every bullet hit my target. In terms of attachments, like I said before, most of the time I was using the heavy barrel and the angled foregrip, which in fact that combination of attachments seems to work really good since the fall patch. I'm going to talk more about it in detail in another video, but I really do recommend to try out these attachments on your favorite weapon. So the AR-160 also had some major stat changes. Its vertical recoil has been cut in half. In fact, it's a little more than half. It used to be 0.5 degrees, it's now 0.23. For those who don't know, its vertical recoil value wasn't intended. It's been wrong since the weapon first came out into Battlefield 4. I believe it had copy and pasted stats from the Scar H, which for some reason was never fixed a long time ago. But in saying that, its side-to-side recoil was very slightly increased, but nothing too major. Its spread increase per shot has also been reduced by a lot as well, which now matches its rate of fire. This gun isn't really meant for close range, but before the patch it wasn't that good at long range either, because its vertical recoil and spread increase was just a little too high. But with the stat changes, I highly recommend to throw on the heavy barrel and the vertical grip, which is what I did during this gameplay. This combination of attachments gives you almost the same on the move accuracy as the P90 PDW, and you don't need any attachments to counter its recoil because it's dead easy to control. You can easily hold down the trigger to kill targets at medium range, and you're going to really piss off some snipers because you can kill them easy at long range as well. There's a few more weapons I didn't include in this video, but I might leave them for another time. Like I said in my previous video, I'll be working on showing you guys my HUD settings. I know a lot of you have requested that video, but anyway, let me know which has been your favorite weapon change so far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.